This one. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. You guys hear me all right? Let's make sure that you can hear me okay before we continue. Thumbs up, a nod, a no, you suck, stop what you're doing. You know, any of those will work. Can you hear me? I think they can. Really not sure. Good. I guess. Let's type it out. I've learned to start just a couple minutes early, just to work out any kinks. All right, Jeremiah says it works good. All right, guys. So here we are. I got Jane on the other line, and hold on, let the sump pump go. All right, we're good. All right, so Musky Talk Tuesdays. It's looking like it's probably going to be every Tuesday. We'll see. If it changes, I'll let you guys know. Focus. All right, so I got Shane McLaughlin. McLaughlin?
Yep, McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, perfect. Sudden Impact Guide Service, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. River Rat, Musky Rat, Shore River Musky Rat. Some topics that I don't think we've ever discussed. I know we've discussed some rivers, but oh boy, and the cat's playing with the background. Perfect. Awesome. Let's just hop in. So, Shane, who are you? What do you do?
I'm just your average guy. Blue collar, hardworking guy. Been musky fishing probably since the age of 10. I'm 44 now, which is hard to believe because it seems like only yesterday. I think I was like 20 or something. But anyway, I've been stomping all over northwestern Wisconsin with a musky pole in my hand for years now. I mean, I basically cut my teeth probably, I'd say, on Bone Lake and the Chippewa flowage, typical places where a lot of guys cut their teeth, and I learned it there, but it soon when I didn't really get involved until I moved out of St. Paul. See, the bad rap on me is, I was a mud duck, so I moved here, and I think it was 2000, and then once I moved to Chippewa Falls, it didn't take me very long to realize how much water that was flowing was just right around me, available right at my fingertips on a given basis, and then I kind of started falling for the flow quite a bit, but yeah, there's nothing off bounds, nothing's, out of play.
So what brought you to Muskies? Like, was
it
right off the bat, right when you started fishing, or what?
No, I guess my old man, and when we were younger, he used to do these camping trips up on the Chippewa flowage where they'd go get the island, and they'd camp out on the island, and that was like the most cool thing, So I went with my old man, I think, the first time, and we jumped on one of them islands on Chippewa flowage and spent 4 or 5 days camping out there. And I mean, literally, something about that place, if that doesn't get you going on muskies, I don't think much will. And this was back in the heyday, good 80, 85, 86, 87, we started hitting up there, and that kind of really turned me on. I seen my first real, true live giant in front of my face, and that's kind of what spawned the whole thing, got the ball rolling pretty good. One thing leads to another. It's like the typical shitting story you hear where the guy sees just an amazing giant, loses it, and your heart's just broken, and you're standing there wondering. And I think me and my buddy, when we first had the shot at a real giant, like a 54, a 50, just an amazing fish, striped from head to toe, and me and him still swear up and down it was a tiger, and it was a 40-pound class fish, came up and was going to eat a 3-pound northern off our oar lock that we had tied to the side of the oar lock thing, was coming up and was literally going to eat the frickin' pike right off the oar lock, and my buddy, I'll never forget it because, you're 13, 14, and you're camping, you're having the time of your life as it is, and I was spent out laying in the back of the boat. Sundown was happening. It was just a perfect, calm night, mellow as fuck, You couldn't have a better night. And all of a sudden I hear him stumbling and fumbling. He can't even speak, and all that comes out is big fish, And I turn and look and seen the biggest fish I think at that point easily was the biggest thing I've ever seen. And We went in the water. We both took shots at it. We were reeling like a son of a bitch, looking at each other, and nobody got it. Second cast out, he gets about 4 cranks on it, and he hooks right into her, And of course, he's got 12-pound line and a Lindy Shadling on him over there with, some big musky gear. But of course, musky logic, it hits his bait.
Yeah,
but he got it, had it on, lost it, thing snaps his line, total heartbreak. I mean, and from there on, it was like the seed was planted. That was it.
From then on, it was game on.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Once I realized, hey, these fucking things get huge. They're mean. This is what I want to fish for. This is insanity. And then, I mean, from there, I think it just spiraled out of control by the time I was in my 20s. I literally, when I met my wife, it was her birthday tonight. We went out to dinner, and I mean, the first night I met her, I think I told her, there ain't a whole lot of shit that you're going to have to deal with me. I'm going to be gainfully employed. I don't go to strip clubs. I'm not a gambler. I'm not an NCAA bracket filler-out type guy, dude. I said, but I fish like you wouldn't fucking believe. And she kind of got it. She didn't really know what all that was.
She didn't know. She didn't know.
No, dude.
None of them know.
The first 2 years of guiding it's a rough one on your wife, man. And when you're home, you're doing the dishes, you're trying to kiss as much ass as you possibly can because you're trying to stay desperately on top of things. You got to follow that bite. When you get something hot, you don't just hit it one place. The thing that's really been kicking a lot of ass for us the last couple of years is between me and Jeremiah, who I think is the best partner I could have for fishing. Me and him just lift each other up. We support each other. If one of us is down, you pull the other guy up, man. You don't let your buddy sink into that, struggle bus position for too long. Of course, he kicks my ass up and down, so whatever. But just that point, when you got somebody like that, you're constantly plotting and planning. But what we did the last couple of years is if we found a bite, man, you didn't veer from it. And there's a lot of times where me and him and a lot of, they always tell you on these shows, the guy in the front throw this, the guy in the middle throw this, the guy in the back throw this. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about because we've had a lot of times where him and I are throwing the same bait. When it's biting, hey, I'm not giving in to him, he ain't giving in to me.
Yeah.
But we both want that fish that bad. When we know what the bite is on, we know what it's on. You can vary from it at times and you can play with it, but when you know what the hell it's on, you're both dialed in. You want to both get that fish, And there's times where we both got shit coming out of the box like you wouldn't believe, but that's the fun of musky fishing is it comes and goes so quick. The switch turns, and I mean, you go from having the shittiest day to sticking a 50 3/4 like Jared did in our Little Muskies Inc. tournament this year. I mean, and it was that partner relationship that I think really helped him out. He was ready to abort and abandon waters and let's get the hell out of here, And
yeah.
It was that, reminding him, no, look what we did all summer. Look at the ass we've been kicking. Let's not veer out of our, main plan. And shit, 2 hours later, he's got that 50 3/4 in his hands. And I thought we probably, and he just smile was so damn big, dude, from ear to ear. He was literally sitting down in the mail room and just went to CEO, like, in 4 or 5 seconds, I mean, it was just amazing. That about musky fishing is probably the number one draw for me, just without a doubt. The emotions that can go so low and so high, and it all can switch in just that split second,
All at once.
Doesn't take
0 to
much.
100.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think another big thing we like to do is we like to be the guys that figure out the bite, Every year there's something different. Every year something catches fire. The last few years we kind of start off on opener and we know what we're doing, and usually what we do on opener works. We'll start with an assortment of rubber, and we're not doing anything too fast. We're trying to be slow because you're going to match what's going on. Last year was a lot better than the way this year is turning out looking so far, but I'm guaranteeing you, and we don't really downsize much either. A lot of these other guys that talk, they like to downsize when it's cold. Usually for us, opener on the rivers is a little different than openers on the lakes.
Yeah.
Openers on the river, the areas we're targeting are the areas that they're up in. They just traveled upstream. They're looking at all these walleyes that just went through and spawned. Suckers went up the river. you name it's going up the river in the spring. So usually, we'll head to the headwaters at a lot of these spots, and we're looking for the feeders, and the feeders ain't going to play around. They're looking for meals. They're not coming up for snacks. Usually they're looking for full-grown stuff right off the bat. I mean, we've had everything from 8, 9-inch tubes get ripped to regular deuces, you name it. I think I had beaver caught fire for me last year in the first couple weeks,
Full-size beaver?
Yeah, well, not XL, but full size, yeah. I mean, opening day, I shit you not, Colin, I had a 51 grab a beaver, I had a 48 grab the beaver, and like a 45, 47, somewhere in there. All opening day, come up T-bone that thing, I just couldn't put hooks into one of them.
So,
meanwhile, Jeremiah, I'm netting his third fish by Saturday midday, It's like, wow. God damn it.
So, right off the bat, like, we're going upstream. We're going headwaters.
Yeah, we go, it's all in the eddies,
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be, they don't mind that fast water in the spring because pretty much everything in the system's fast moving.
Well,
they're going to go to where the muskies tend to go towards where the big food's at, They don't want to work too hard for it, and they're going to go where that oxygen's at least giving them as much chance to recuperate and digest that meal as quick as they can that time of year. They might eat up there, and then they might travel downstream and then go sit in that shallow 2-foot sunny bay and just digest. But their runs up to the food source are going to be short in the spring. We like to stay within a certain amount of area of these spots we've been getting the last few years. We don't really move a whole lot. We're going to try, if we got one spot that's kind of slacking, well, another thing we like to do is we bounce a lot.
So, starting of this year, are you going to continue off of last year? Now, I know this is a big dramatic weather change that happened right now, and that's probably setting fish back.
Somewhat, to some degree. I give that about a 15, 20-minute window, literally. Like, opening morning, if, the first 15, 20 minutes, I'm guaranteeing that we're going to start off with what was fresh in our mind from last year's opener,
Okay.
Oh, we crushed them on this last year. But I look at last year, and the funny thing about last year is I think me and Jeremiah both started opening day with baits. I don't think either one of us threw a whole hell of a lot on opener day. I started with the beaver just because, I got one in a trade over the winter.
Okay.
I'm like, shit, I've been hearing a lot of good about these. And then I twitched it and snapped it. I had it on my jig ripper pole, which baby beaver on a jig ripper pole, holy shit. You can make that thing dance. You can get it to pause. When that thing hinges, it's such an injured look. And Jeremiah started with the other bait, which we were really big on last year, which was the Savage Gear line through trout.
Really?
And I think he started with the 10-inch line through trout right off the bat. And I've never seen a bait just get smoked on like that thing. Between that and the toads that we were using in the fall, that Savage Gear trout did something to a lot of fish that were not really in the mood. I watched him turn fish that did not want to bite into fish that were just forensically mad. It was weird, but earned its trust in my boat real fast. So I know this year starting off, I'm sure that's going to be in the mix. We'll have some other things. Tubes have always been good for us, So we like the water wolf gator tubes and some other shit in the cut.
So if you have a tackle box, let's say 5 baits, you're going on a river trip, whatever. Top 5 baits going on a river. What should I grab? Any
time of the year?
Let's do spring, summer.
Okay,
late spring,
summer. 5 baits.
Yeah.
5 baits right off the bat. I'm going to go for sure with the 9-inch water wolf gator tubes. Got to be number one in our boat. Probably the last 4 years. It's all around productive. Any time you're in a hole deeper than 6 to 8, that bait's going to pay dividends. Usually, like it's nothing. I can vertically jig it. I can cast it. It can fall downstream in the current. Either way, it's a winner. Works pretty damn good. Second bait I'm going to go with is probably like the regular, I'd say like a regular good-sized 8-bladed bucktail, number 8s, maybe. I ain't throwing nearly, although Jeremiah can attest he's blasted fish on opener with double 13s. I'm going something a little small. I ain't shitting you, dude.
I'm
double
good.
13s at 1 in the morning. You put fish in the boat when you're open at night. So I'll go with at least a bucktail. It depends on how I feel about that weekend.
Okay.
But this year for sure, an X-toad. I'm
Yep.
definitely going to have one of them smaller size X toads working right off the bat.
Okay.
That's just got to happen.
So there's 3.
Then I'm probably going to throw a few people off here, but I picked up, just an oddball depth raider this year in the off season, because a lot of times in that current, they're seeing so many people are throwing the same shit nowadays that something just different. Like, a lot of people are veering away from old school deep diving crankbaits, and I think you could rip that thing and get it down there in them rocks and current. It's just a different vibration.
It makes sense. Yeah.
And I probably ain't even touching the top water yet, honest to God. I'd probably throw in something like an Angry Dragon, too.
Okay.
Just another something to have a real different vibe.
So you're focusing on a lot of a lot of baits that you can change depth very quickly.
Yeah, because like I'm saying, there's times, if we start, usually when we're venturing and we're on the move, you can go anywhere from 14 inches deep, to Christ,
12.
8, 10, 12, 18. Some of the holes we're hitting in the spring are 27, I mean, so there's definitely a variance of depth there. And I'll take a 208 cranebait, too, that time of year.
Okay.
Early, I've never veered away from a cranebait. You twitch that thing just right in the right spot, it's getting hammered.
Are you even chucking bucktails as much as some other people may think you are? Like, do you not... Your go-to isn't a bucktail, is it?
Years ago, it was all I threw. I think when I was, for years and years, it was like all I threw was bucktails, because I used to always think, your best percentage of hooking a fish is on a bucktail. And I shit you not, I got so many ghost tails, so many Booker 700 series. I mean, I used to just get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I'd get them, and then over the course of too many days where you're not getting bites, and then you got to go to something else. And now that it seems like in the last 10 years, I bet you I've got more confident doing stuff that I wasn't good at. Like, one year I was like, well, I want to make it a point this year to get one vertical jigging. And I mean, I put 2 years into that, but I finally got a couple of really respectful fish doing it.
Yeah.
So, I want to always improve my game. So something that I'm looking at, like this next year, what am I looking at? What can I really improve this year on that I don't feel like I did so good last year, or whatever? Trying to improve my all-around game all the time.
What's your plan for this year? Like your quote-unquote goal to get?
Gosh, the goal, you don't even want to know, because it'll sound pompous, but I don't know. I want at least, and I seriously think this is possible. Sometimes I'm the only guy who really believes in this northwest Wisconsin area. I know Jer's right with me. There's a few others I know, but I still think 54 or bigger is possible. I know I've had them on multiple times. But I literally this year, knowing where I'm going and how much water I'm going to hit, I'm looking for somewhere in that 3 to 4 over 50 range. I mean, and I know the chances there that I won't get any. I know that, but
yeah,
you got to have your loftier goals, man. If you're not aiming for the sky, what's the point of aiming? I mean, so in numbers wise, I don't know. So I'd like to get my personal number between 50 and 70 muskies, and the amount I'm involved in, whether I catch them or net them, being in that 112, 120 range. I mean, last year I think I got to 95 that I either caught or netted.
Damn.
So the more muskies you watch and you're there for, and you handle, or you help your buddy handle, or you see the situations that can go foul real fast, just that knowledge. It's like going to muskie school. Me and Jeremiah got a spot that we learn so much about fish behavior. It's like going to a little muskie class, because things that we've always heard that can't happen.
Okay.
I had a fish last year, I'll tell you, I caught like a 45-inch fish on that beaver.
Yeah.
A couple weekends after opener, because I moved so many fish on an opening day, I wasn't going to give it up. And then I think I even caught one on the Sunday opener weekend on the beaver. But that was like my newfound favorite bait, so I was giving her hell with that bait, I catch this 45.5-inch fish. We get good pictures of it, and me and Jeremiah, we fish together like shit all summer. So we're usually with each other, and whatever. So
yeah,
I get this fish. We let it go, and we after pictures, and it just kind of cuts back in the current and sits in this eddy and is just recuperating,
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, cool, and we're sitting there, and About 6 minutes later, it's just still sitting there. So I kind of go over down on the shore, and I get my video camera out, I'm videoing it and talking a little shit. Like, yeah, I just busted this one, and it's sitting there looking good. And, you know, I no sooner than turn the camera off, and Jeremiah's bringing that Savage Gear line through trout right next door.
Yeah.
She whales it.
What?
Turns, and I ain't lying one bit. She turns and just T-bones that thing sitting there while she's recovering. Instincts took over, and I don't know if that's more of telling you how good that bait really is, or was she just that
fired up?
You know, that wired to feed when she's supposed to feed. But it taught us a lot right there. One little incident. It's like,
whoa,
no way, dude. We've always heard that a fish gets caught and it's gone. It's gone for at least this many days or whatever.
Yeah.
That fish literally hit 8 minutes after we let her go.
That's
in
crazy.
front of us, looking at us the whole time. She could see us. I fucking know it. She's sitting, you know. I never seen nothing like it, but that's the kind of things you learn with a lot of time in the water, and when you're in the right spots and you get to watch a lot of fish do things, you know. You will definitely change your opinions on a lot of ways you attack spots or maybe go over a spot. Like somebody can tell me, oh, we went through that spot. It means we'll watch people a lot during the year that they come blowing through a spot, you know.
Just way too fast.
Yeah, they're running and gunning like people tell you got to cover water, you got to cover water. Yeah, you got to cover water, but
correct
you
water,
also got to cover,
you know.
Yeah, you got to cover the water that the fish are in, you know. There's a lot of spots where fish, I don't know, they're only there this percentage of the year. There's other spots where they're there a pretty good percentage of the year, and them are the spots you don't want to be fast in. No. You don't want to come through there with one presentation and base your whole thought on, oh, well, that didn't work there, so they're not there. I've watched a lot of people leave some fish on the table for us because of that, you know.
Well, that's good.
People fish, you know.
That's good for you, you know. Let them resume past. Screw them.
Oh, yeah, we do all the time, you know, and we've watched people that are sitting there working our spot over, you know, or one of our spots, and we'll just sit there and talk, and it's like he'll look at me, and I'll look at Jared and be like, God, they haven't tossed one shot over in the good side yet. Nope, and you know, and then they'll pull out of it. We'll go right in there in the spot they never threw at. We'll pull a fish out of because, I don't know, a lot of people don't think these fish will sit in some of the fastest water there is, but they sit right in the fastest water. Fastest. As fast as you can get. That eddy right next to that super fast water is high dollar real estate.
Now you want to cast in the eddy, or do you want to cast in the
like
faster water, or just a couple different angles?
If you cast in that faster water and she's sitting in that eddy 9 out of 10 times, she ain't even coming out.
Okay.
You literally got to be super accurate, and you got to land that cast to where it forces her to make that decision. Is it worth it to come out of my eddy and take a swipe?
Okay.
So 9 out of 10 times you put that bait in the eddy with her, and then make it seem like it's about to get away, she's going to make her move then, you know. I mean, we do a lot of that where it's tight to shore. In the river, a lot of casts have to be
a lot of tight to shore.
Right there on shore. You know, I mean, it's you crash a lot of baits, you break a lot of baits, you bend a lot of stuff. But
well, that's when you go get Jeremiah's lure retriever. I mean, you know.
Oh, we use that all the time. I'm telling you, you build and invent things out of necessity, you know. I think the year before he built that, we lost quite a few baits, and they were down deep enough where you weren't going to get them with a pole retriever. Okay. You know, they were in 18, 20 feet. Well, hell, man, if we had just had something to knock them off, you know, that's kind of how that works. But that also gives us confidence to fuck around with the bottom more.
Exactly. With some of those, beavers off the bottom and, deep diving crankbaits. You're not scared. You're not going to lose it. So.
No, we will. If we got to stop and take 7 minutes to bust our bait and get our leader back, that's fine. But I've literally, there was a couple of years back. It was probably 2 weeks after opener, and Jeremiah put 6 fish in the boat on me to my 1 that day. And I mean, just put an ass kicking on me. But
what was he doing?
The last fish he got that day, we got into a flat that dropped to like 16, 17, and he looked right at me almost in like a little snide comment when he's like, I'm going to fuck with the bottom down deep. And I mean, he was letting that thing get down there, and he snagged the bottom probably twice and wiggled it out, and then before the third time, wham, he got hit. That fish was laying way down there, and he had the balls to put his bait down deep, and get it right in her face. And sure as shit, she smoked it.
Bam.
And that was the biggest one he got that day. It was the one he really worked the hardest and messed around with the most to get the hit.
So definitely with river fishing, don't be afraid to cast multiple times at a sexy spot. Like look at that. Hey,
No.
guys, just
Dude,
work it for a
no.
minute.
Yeah, I mean, I like to, and you got to think the big picture too. That current's moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
If you're eyeballing this spot here, how far upriver do you got to be to have it get right down at your depth and then get in her face?
True.
Sometimes she's going to be way up high. Other times she's down low, and other times you got to look down the line too. Okay, where does this big eddy wash out? Where is the tailwater? And then you almost imagine looking underwater and seeing that current rolling on them rocks,
Mm-hmm.
And you'll feel it a lot too, like with tubes. The tube is so versatile. We'll pump it once offshore, and then you will feel the way that current's pulling and washing your bait.
Mm-hmm.
And when you feel it feel like nothing, like it's getting pushed back at you,
Yeah.
them are the money zone. That's that zone where that big alpha female is going to pull right up and sit right on that, because everything that washes through that spot
Goes right in front of her face.
right there. Yep, comes right in front of her face and just hangs for that second.
Okay.
So instead of her having to look at things really, really fast and make her decision quick, she gets just that extra little second to examine shit,
Yeah.
And that's where that accuracy.
I know
and all
exactly
that
what you're
plays
talking
too.
about with feeling the like it's coming back to you. The
Yeah,
bait. Yeah.
when you find them sweet spots where that current's just shifting, and it's like a toilet bowl. A lot of toilet bowl looking spin. You see that in the current, that's another area we target constantly. Elevation drops. You get enough water dropping through a spot and it looks like a rapids, I'll guarantee you, not very far away, there's water flowing upstream. Because, it's Newton's law of theory, ethereal, something's moving one way, there's got to be an equal movement the other way half the time, I mean.
Yeah. Now, what about foam? Is foam home? I've heard that saying a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's to the point we try and sweep it out of the way in pictures just so people don't know where we're at. I mean, dude, I've had pictures in some pretty thick foam, but you got to look at foam like this. It's the life. It's the air.
Yeah.
There's that much oxygen in that water there, man, where it's just bubbling to the top. I mean, it's there. There's an abundance of it, which that's telling any fish, hey, I can go out there and work up a sweat, and I'm recovering pretty quick. I mean, it makes sense. I get the foam, yeah. Foam and flow, oh, hell yeah. We love everything about it. White water,
Yeah.
we fish a lot of that. Oh, God, yeah. We literally, Jeremiah was talking last year, I'm going to go up by this, Class 3 rapids, and the first thing we both thought was, God, I bet she's got some great eddies, We're talking about fishing it. People talk about, kayaking it and surviving
That's
it. We're
crazy.
talking about, yeah, I mean, but that's the stuff we really think holds these really tough fish. When you get one out of there, they're pissed off.
Oh, they're pissed off and they're strong. Them are
Oh
strong
yeah,
fish.
they're not slacking, and that's the thing I think I like about the river atmosphere so much, is that usually when they're hungry, they're going to tell you right off the bat. It ain't a whole lot of following up. I mean, you'll get that in August where the metabolism's so high they're following every goddamn thing, but you get into the spring and it's not a whole lot of follows. It's I'm hungry and I haven't eaten anything but little shit in 4 months. I want a meal.
Okay.
And you can capitalize on them first 2 weeks from what we found out the last 5 seasons. Some of our best fish come right off the bat. I got a 46 and a quarter last year that was probably sporting a 22 and a half inch girth.
Ooh, that's a
And I
chunky
mean,
monkey.
she was just healthy, but she went through the whole winter just being a fat slob, and she'd come out of it just eating like she went in.
Huh.
And them are the fish you're looking for, the ones that carried their weight all winter and have a good start to spring already.
Do you feel, I've heard and I've felt with very little river fishing now that I've done, that rivers are a little bit harder to influence with the weather and stuff like that, and moon phases.
Definitely.
They're more, they're not as finicky as lake fish. The wind changed.
Yeah. I do, honestly. I mean,
I don't want to say easier, but maybe a little more thicker skinned.
I think honestly, it kind of plays into the pressure on its system as well. Because a lot of these rivers we're hitting have like minimal pressure. It's a lot of rock. It's a lot of banging your boat off stuff. Nobody in a fiberglass boat is going to go up in them. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much, you're going to be banging off rocks. I seen Jeremiah Superman jumping out the boat last year to slow us down for one. I mean, it's hitting bridge abutments with your boat. It's nothing easy, and it's kind of riding a ragged edge, to quote Flip. But I mean, it's as fun as it gets, I think, and it's a less pressured scenario, and I think that less pressure makes fish just less influenced by it. I think the more pressure the system, the more they're going to be tuned into the moon windows in sunset and sundown, because they really don't want to be out roaming when it's midday and people are just jet skiing and bombing all over. But now you get on the river, and our hot time last year for a month and a half was 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the middle of the day.
That's not like any lake that I really hear of.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. The scope of things just changes there. That's why I think I like targeting it. But there's also times, though, on the river where it's getting to be sunset and you're thinking it's going to get good, and it didn't. It got good at 5 dinner, 6 o'clock. You got to be prepared for that. And a lot of, like we noticed the last couple of years, too, I think, a lot of our huge moon phases, like, your full moon moonrise and your new moon moonset and all that, seems like our action would come in the hour before that. Not
really?
the
So
actual hour.
Pre?
Yeah, pre, it seemed like, because it seems like the later you get towards dark, then fish seem to kind of turn off quicker in the river. Like a lot of lakes and a lot of the systems we hit, too, also are flowage type things. Usually that last bit of dark, we'll go pull out and hit a weed bed sometimes in the slack, because it just seems like when they get closer to dark, they're going to move off to less flow and bigger flats with easier movement,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think pressure's got a lot to do with that bite windows and that. Because I think last year there was the 51.5 I got last year. I remember it was on, I think, a big moon phase day. I think it was within 2 or 3 days of a fuller and new. I can't remember exactly, but
one of the two.
We were laughing that day because that fish hit and bit during none of the windows. There was one at like 8 o'clock that night. There was one at like noon to 1 o'clock that day, but I caught her at like 4:15.
Just in the middle of everything.
Just in the middle of everything, like you ran across her just at, as she's been sitting there all day. Probably been sitting there with nothing bugging her. That's what I mean. When they're not pressured out, they will hold spots until either they get their meal or they get caught or something. But we had a lot of our fish, too, last year that we caught that wasn't the first time we seen that fish. We had it follow once or twice before in the same area. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fish you're getting familiar with, and you're pinpointing them, and then you're kind of going back and just checking it multiple times. A lot of times they ain't there, but them fish in the river, one thing is for sure, they're always moving. They're constantly moving, and you're kind of looking to intercept them when they're moving or put baits in front of them when they're set up ready to eat.
So the fish are always moving, but a good spot is a good spot no matter what. It just might be different fish.
A good spot. I mean, I've proven that here down in Chippewa. I do a lot of my YouTube videos right downtown Chippewa because it's the one spot where there's 6 people. I know there's going to be 4 or 5 people.
Oh, wait. Shane, you got a YouTube page?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Sudden Impact Guide Service at the YouTube page.
Dang it. I hid the logo. I didn't know if you had a YouTube page.
Oh, hell.
There you go, guys. YouTube page.
Yeah, check it out if you like watching some crazy videos. I mean, I just started shooting videos of myself fishing these real, what I'd call community spots, because I know it's nothing sacred. I ain't hiding, it ain't no big secret. Yeah, there's fish there, but what I like to do is show how good the fishing can be at some of these spots. A lot of people think you're not getting very good at fish, but you're there at the right times. I remember last year I'm sitting at home, and I think it was September, and I'm mowing the lawn, and I'm sitting on the lawnmower, and I look up, and here's a front coming. And I'm like, holy shit. I hopped off that mower, ran in the house, looked at the wife. I said, I'll be back in an hour, dude. I got to go.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Literally. stopped, left the lawnmower in the middle of the fucking lawn. I didn't even care. Jumped up, booked into town, took the 10-minute ride into town. I'm offshore. I made the hike over to the shitty spot, walked the nasty rocks. I think I took 4 casts and caught a 36 and like a 42 within 15 minutes. Just boom, boom, you know. I mean, but that's from being there so much, knowing they're just waiting on something. You know when them fish are waiting on something.
Yeah.
And the worst feeling is sitting there knowing the event is happening and you're either stuck at work
or cutting the grass.
or you're cutting the lawn or you're doing the dishes. I mean, that's the worst. And this was one of them cases where I looked up and seen that front, and it was the first front in probably 6-7 days. So I knew it was going to trigger something. I just jumped up and left, and I'm glad I did because I needed them fish at that time, you know. Struggle bus comes every year to everybody, and it's just a matter of how quick you choose to get off it. And usually if you're on a struggle bus, it means you're doing a lot of the same shit you've been doing and you're getting caught in your habits. It's time to break habits or figure out what the hell ain't happening, you know, or get in, you know, you never know what it takes. Some years it goes quick. Some years you're on that son of a bitch for a while, you know. Nobody likes being on that.
Do you find any, like, certain months, time periods that the struggle bus is real for you? Like, it kind of happens year after year?
Yes. It's every year, and Jared makes fun of me because it ain't the fact that I'm not getting bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're all getting off.
Aww.
And I should, you know, mine's usually the 3rd week, 4th week in June, almost through the whole month of July. That window there is, last year I think I lost 20 fish in that stretch or 23 fish in that stretch. And a lot of them, they weren't super tankers, but goddamn, they're 44s. Yeah, they're 44s. They're nice, chunky, good July fish, 42s, 39s, you name it, you know, but losing them and getting them to bite. And the one video I shot last year, I'm working a prop dog in the cut in Chippewa, and this fish comes in, and I mean, I scratch my leg, reach down to scratch my leg, and you know how it is when you just feel something different in the water where you're holding your rod. I felt something like it literally slammed by and touched my bait, and I'm like, well, what the hell was that? Well, in the video, I sit there and mess with it and slow play it, and sure as shit, it's like a 46-inch muskie. It swims over 2 sturgeon, comes offshore, and I do a figure 8. I mean, I'm slow playing. Oh, you'd have to watch it.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, I lose her. It was in that stretch of time where, God dang, I don't know what. Sometimes I think maybe in that, Jeremiah, the one here, told me, he says, don't even set the hook during that time. Just reel. He says, God damn it, I swear they got paper mouths during that period of time, like a crappie does, you know, in the spring. He says, you pull too hard, you're going to lose every time. And yeah, I don't know. I just that stretch of time seems to be my nemesis. I don't know. I get a lot of action then. I can turn them. I can get them to bite. I can get them moving on figure 8s. But to put them in the bags, just a whole different story. I don't know.
That sounds like the perfect time to, like, hire you as a guide. You know?
Oh, God. Yeah, because you're going to get all the damn fish.
Yeah, you're going to bring them in. Yeah.
Hell, I mean, so it's funny how the season progresses. And over the last couple of years, we kind of dialed in our progression. And there's only so many things we're going to do. I mean, last year, I think we predominantly, it was 3 baits that caught probably 80 to 80-something% of our fish.
Can I try to guess them?
Yeah, go ahead. I know you know one of them.
The beaver, and then I don't know the other 2.
No.
No?
Beaver wasn't one of them. No, Cannonball Jr., number 1.
Okay.
Cannonball Jr. did more insane big fish damage last year for us than any other bait I've ever had in my life. For some reason, last year, between me and Jeremiah, and I know these are going to, I mean, and keep in mind, this is all right in our area. We don't go out of state. We don't travel to Vermilion. We don't travel to the Bay. We don't travel anywhere. We hit our water here.
Mm-hmm.
No, if it ain't Chippewa, Rusk, Washburn, Burnett, Sawyer, or Polk, or Chippewa County, we ain't hitting it. But, I mean, I think last year we each had over 50-inch fish. And then I know goddamn well Jeremiah last year had at least 7 or 8 fish over 48. And I think 6 or 7 of them were on Cannonball Jr. and a couple were on the trout. But,
Jeez.
yeah, no, devastating big fish year last year on that bait. I mean, Cannonball Jr. just killed it. That second bait would be that trout. That line through trout last year just opened our eyes to a lot of shit.
Do I have to go buy one of these?
Yeah, you probably.
I
if
should.
You're smart, you would. I mean,
okay.
It's literally, dude, it is nothing fancy at all.
No.
It's straight reeling it, keeping it high, keeping it where you're looking at it. And there's something about that truly natural action and the way that thing swims that they eat it.
How durable is it? Is it pretty durable?
It all depends how they eat it.
Yeah.
We've had ones where you get 5, 6 fish off them, and we've had a couple where you're only going to get 3.
Okay.
But 3's a given. 3 to 6 fish, anywhere in there. You start getting more than 6 fish on one, it's going to get pretty tore up.
Yeah.
But I'll spend $30 to get 6 fish anytime.
And you said the 9-inch one?
We like the 10. There's an 8, a 10, a 12, a 16. The 10-incher was money for us all season long.
Okay.
From opener till close. That was the most accepted. I mean, yeah, granted, in October and September, that 12-incher was doing mad justice.
Okay.
But that 10 was money. And there's even stretches there where they got finicky, and Jeremiah had some 8-inchers, too, and he caught fish on those, too. So they all seem to work pretty good.
I'm going to have to check that out.
And then the third bait for me was that toad. I didn't get that X-toad until right about the beginning of October. Klachaski sent us a bunch and said, get these things chewed up, you guys. Try them out. Especially you guys, I want to see how your input is on the river with them and this and that. And
you love them?
Took me, I do. It took me a while. And, I mean, this is the big thing with the toad, and a lot of people that bought them this year are going to have, they're going to try pumping them too hard. And that's kind of the way I went at it. And then,
kind of like a dog?
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. Johnny kept saying it's just short little rod tips, and John Carlson kept saying just little rips up, tiny taps, and then as soon as I adapted that, then bang, I started getting them on it. And I mean, I was just hitting spots after work. I'd get off work and I'd swing in there 20 minutes, and one day I got a 46 just on my way home from work, but she buried a hook in my thumb, so that was the only one I got that day, and I was out of there to go patch up my wound. Then I went down 3 days later and got 2 more in about 20 minutes, and one was like 38, one was like 42. Then I went down to another spot like 2 days later and got 4 of them and had 9 hit it.
Oh,
I mean,
geez.
holy shit. Yeah, I took that one around all the shows and had it in the Lake X booth this, at show season, showing people this chewed up toad, because literally it only had about 2.5 hours of fishing on it, and it had 7 muskies. So.
Wow.
It was one of them deals where you put it in the right spot, and it just got the way it pauses, the way it looks, and then once I adapted it, just subtle. It's a lot of pausing. That bait's not like a lot of other big rubber baits where when you're pausing, it's sinking like a stone. That toad's going a little slower. Them legs flare out, and it slows down, and you kind of let it just go a little extra. And then you don't rip it like you see, guys ripping deuces or something. You just tap that rod tip, and it's going to bring it back to attention.
Okay.
And then you pause it again. So those are our 3 last year. I mean, the Cannonball Jr., though, is just devastating, dude. I mean, but a lot of what we were hitting, too, we wanted something top water, because shit, when you're on that river, like I said, we were seeing another thing that I don't know if a lot of guys are used to seeing, but last year in July on the river, we were moving a lot of fish in about 14 inches of water.
Really shallow.
Yeah, and I mean, there ain't many baits you can throw. And I mean, we're bombing these things. We're trying to cover as much water as we can as we're going down rivers. So we're trying to sit in basically the middle of the river and reach both shorelines so we can pick it out just dead apart with our baits. And when they're active and feisty, you can't beat much with that CBJ. It's a big bait. That big 9-aught hook in the back's got such a huge gap on it that if you got her sharp enough and something even thinks about coming in and getting a little snipe on there, it's going to get lipped. You're 9 out of 10 going to get it. I don't know. That was our bait of the year, though. We did a lot of damage on that Cannonball Jr.
So with
For
this,
sure.
So how much snow did you guys get up there?
We didn't get as bad. From what I'm hearing, you guys all got more than us finally for once. So
that's not.
No,
cool.
we probably got 8 or 9, and today did a number on it with the sun coming out there about halfway through the day. But yeah, literally, walleye opener, you're going to see ice on a lot of lakes, and I'm sticking with that thought. But there's going to be a lot of water that's open too. Everything that has a little flow might just be open. So the guys that are on the fence about it, boy, I wouldn't even get on the fence. I'd buy minnows. I'd stop at your bait shops and plan on there being water somewhere. Because if you have the nuts to get out and go find a spot, you're going to find some spawning walleyes. That's all there is to it.
And
you
then,
know where to look. It's going to be one of them years where you can touch them.
is this still going to be,
Yeah.
do you think like you might not see the numbers due to the cold, like for the muskies?
I don't know yet. No, God, no, because I think they're going to be like everything else, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They're sick of winter. They're ready to move on. I mean, they're going to come out of the gate swinging because I think they know their year's shortened already.
Yeah.
Just the photosynthetic period, they know it's April.
Yeah.
They know that the ice is 30 inches thick yet. I mean, but it's going to go quick. Starting, I think, probably this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, you're really going to start seeing a lot of flow. Rivers are going to really come up. They're going to come up real bad. A lot of snow in Hayward, a lot of snow in Phillips, a lot of snow up there by Danbury. There's going to be a lot of rivers rocking, and I think it's a good point to say, a lot of people stay safe. I know the rivers are a place to be a lot of times, but you got to use your head, too.
Yeah. Especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's flowing like that, no.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you go in and you got to remember it's going to be really cold water. Hypothermia is a realistic deal opener.
That's so
I mean,
crazy.
even Musky opener. By Memorial Weekend, that water I don't think is going to be much above 50-something. Unless it gets amazingly warm, which I would not doubt, because usually when the pendulum comes back, it swings pretty hard.
True. It could just swing into full-bore summer.
I'm guessing it will, because we skip every year. It seems like we skip the best temperatures for average. Right now, I think our average high is 58, and that's like one of my favorite temperatures. But of course, we've been in the 30s for so long that by the time we get to average, it'll be 80. That's just how it goes. Whatever.
Oh, that's funny. So
Yeah,
we've talked about. I was not paying attention to questions.
Oh, heck, and then I shoot, we can touch on anything like shore spots even.
That's definitely. I don't even.
I
My shit
see
was froze.
Yeah.
So let's talk about shore spots, and we'll get back to some of these questions. So what are you looking for? Like, is it just anywhere? Is it prime? Like, hey, I'm at a boat and I'm like, that looks like a shore spot. I'm going to make a note of that.
Yeah, typically my good shore spot is a spot where it's such a pain in the ass to get there with a boat. You're better off from shore.
Okay.
But I mean, in the last couple of years, I've taken this to the extreme. I mean, I'm looking at Google Maps. I'm looking at who owns this property. I'm looking at where I can cut through on foot and where I can find. And what I'm targeting usually when I'm coming at a spot from shore is, of course, spillways. Or I'm always going to hit a spillway. I'm one of them guys that will always check a spillway out because, shoot, there's always fish. Well, not always, but if you know how to fish them and you like fishing them, it's probably one of the funner ways to fish. I like them spillway fish. They're tough, they're mean, they're nasty. And it don't take much to quick pull up and check it and move on. I got the one downtown Chippewa here I fish all the time. Literally, I'll leave my house a half hour early on my way to work, and I'll stop there, take 20, 25 casts, get on my way. The good days are when I stick one on my way to work. That's a great day of work. That's a great day of work when you can just reach down, smell your hand. You're like, yeah, I know how this day started. Yeah. Or you got a little gill raker rash on there. You're showing your buddy at work, like, yeah, my day started good.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times, too, where I'll leave the house on any given day on a weekend. If I ain't got clients and I ain't got nothing going on, there's many a day in the summer I just grab the vehicle, the rod, the net, and I go for a ride. And I'll stop at, 6, 8 spots, as many as I can fit in, and a lot of them will be different. Sometimes I'll target something totally away from a spillway, but I know it's got a really good elevation drop 2 miles down from the spillway, but I can access it through this path. Oh, man, there's too many to think of, But that's like the last frontier. You don't really get a lot of pressure. You see a lot of people at some of these places that come unprepared, and I think it's kind of our job as musky guys to see other musky guys that ain't doing it right. I think you give them a little shit. I think it motivates them to maybe come next time with a net.
Yeah.
I see a guy last year, I looked right at him and said, hey, man, what the fuck are you going to do when you get one? You ain't got a pliers. You ain't got a net. You ain't got shit but that rod and that bait. What the hell are you going to do? Come on, man. You owe it more to this fish to put a little effort in, buddy.
Just put some pliers in your back pocket.
Pliers. Something.
Mm-hmm.
You had nothing. I mean, I'm like, come on, man. What the hell? I mean, you know, not to mention he pulled right up and just started chucking baits at our boat while we're out there. I mean, but seriously, man, yeah, I think it's kind of up to us to educate on top of a lot of stuff. A lot of these guys, yeah, you know, they like the fishing, but, you know, you got to give back to the sport a little, too. You owe it to them. You wouldn't go out deer hunting with a freaking buck knife and jump out of a tree and just kind of stab at it and hopefully you get it.
I mean,
hell no,
I'd watch that.
yeah. I mean, maybe a spear, but I mean, we're talking some serious shit here.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of guys that, you know, you see them, and at least the younger kids I see, at least they come prepared. You know, I see a lot of kids in Chippewa now that are at that, I don't know, 16 to 20 range, you know, and at least they're carrying around nets and they're seeing, you know, it's a lot easier to hold a fish in a bag than it is other stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
You got to come prepared. Prepare for success. I mean, if you go down there with nothing, them are the times where something's going to happen and it ain't going to be good.
Like, you're going to catch a fish. You're not going to be able to grab the fish. You're going to get a hook in your hand, and you ain't got shit. And you're just like, well, all right, that's a great day of fishing.
Exactly. Last year, that first toadfish I got.
Yeah.
I got in there, and I'm unhooking her, and she did the old snap of the head, and it happens like lightning, man.
Uh-huh.
It was just bang. I looked down, and I knew it right away. That hook was in the skin of my thumb real good, well past the barb.
Mm.
And right away, I'm like, oh, shit, I got to get this one unhooked quick.
Yeah.
And I reach right back because when I'm shore fishing, I got my net and then my release bag, and all my baits are all in the same area.
Okay.
If I hook one and I get her on, she's coming over to that center. And all in that center, once I bag her and get her hooked, everything's within reach.
Pre-planned.
So, yeah, she hooked me up, but I reached back in my backpack, and before I could even, you know, unhook her, she decides she's going to go ape shit again. So at least there, she shoves the hook all the way through. So I didn't have to push it through myself, but reach back in my backpack, grab the Nipix, pop it, I'm out. She's unhooked. Fish gone within a matter of minutes still. I mean, you got to have that stuff right there.
But, you know, what if you didn't bring that stuff? What are you going to do in that situation?
If I didn't, yeah, what am I doing?
Like, bring it in the car? Drive to town? Like...
Yeah, what am I doing? Keeping a muskie now?
Yeah.
I mean, the fish is going to get dead because you're going to... Any given redneck's going to be way more concerned about his own thumb than the fish.
Yeah.
He's going to kill the thing. Who knows? But that's what I'm saying, man. It's shit can go bad in a heartbeat, and if you're not prepared for it, it's not going to be a good outcome. I mean, that's just simple stuff. But, I mean, shore fishing can be really fun, really rewarding. It can give you, and what I like to call kind of a workout while you're doing it. A lot of these spots ain't easy to walk or get to.
No, you're telling me, man. I've gotten lazy since I got a boat. I mean, I used to walk up and down the rivers. Yeah. I mean, today I was steelhead fishing. I'm a little sore because I had to walk. I'm a lazy POS nowadays because I have a boat. You know? That's
funny.
But yeah, get your blood moving.
Well, that's just it. A lot of guys get comfy, you know? And they if it ain't in their boat looking at their big 12-inch graphs and shit like that, they're just not going to do it. Last year, we ran up and down rivers the whole season, and we had our 9-foot Big Nasty was our locator.
Mm-hmm.
How deep is it? At 4 feet. How deep is it? Oh, can't touch here. Well, it's over 9. I mean, that's how we gauge the depth. I mean, we didn't. It's people make this sport out seem to be a lot more than it is too, and this is really not a high-dollar sport. You can put a lot of money into your gear, but you can do this on a thrifty basis too, and do it with just the minimal essentials. It's turned into a lot of market-driven fishing, you know, and I mean, everybody's telling you need this, you need that. They're all giving you this advice. You know, best advice is go put time in the water how you want to. Treat the fish with respect. Put your first bit of money into release gear. You shouldn't even have baits at all if you didn't start with a 9-inch pliers, a Nipix, a net, something to handle the fish. Start with that. We got to make more emphasis on people. You start with this because this might keep you from going to a hospital. This might keep a fish from dying that's 18 years old and been in this system for how long?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the resource is important. Keep up with it. Don't litter your shit, too.
Just
Seems
pick
like
it
a
up.
lot of these shore guys, and I'm going to throw a lot of blame on these catfishing guys
Go
because
for
holy
it.
shit, they're down there all day.
Yeah.
They're like eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner there and having a 12-pack. Man, just take the time to pick all your stuff up that you bring in and maybe a little extra out with you. If you can grab, you know, a little bag of crap, yeah, it sucks, throw it in your garbage can when you get home. Because a lot of these places, man, people are getting sick of it.
Oh, I bet.
And they see so much garbage a year, and this guy feels bad picking it up and buy. You know, it's like people got to learn to pick their own shit up. Pick up some of somebody else's every now and then. It's good karma.
And it is.
You pick up a pile. It is. I swear to God.
It is.
You pick up a pile of garbage on the river, and then the next trip down, you're like, boom, 48. And you're like, yeah. And then you're like, oh yeah, I picked up some garbage. All right.
I do good things halfway between, because good karma, like I'm doing good things, makes you feel good, okay, and on the other half, it's so I can hopefully catch a muskie. So it's like I do good things for maybe the wrong reasons, but I don't care. I'm doing good things. Don't judge me, okay? Leave me alone.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I'm coming in so loaded down with my gear alone, you know, that if I got to do a quarter-mile hike, half-mile hike, shit, carrying something else extra out sucks, but I don't want to see my spots going to hell, you know, I mean, or worse yet, people,
Get closed down.
closing them down because they're tired of picking up.
I mean, it is public spot, and they can still shut it down if there's enough, BS going on.
Oh, sure, you know, so I don't know. Release gear is huge. I mean, people gotta, get prepared for success, and it happens more than you believe. Confidence goes a long way too, you know.
So we got some questions, Shane. I
sure.
feel like you're a guy that I can just talk to for hours.
Oh yeah, you could.
And I like those guests because it makes my job a hell of a lot easier instead of prying.
Sure.
But we're going to go to some questions. We're going to talk about your guide service, and then we're going to ask the most important question of all. So we got Jeremiah. Ask Shane how he likes standing in a canoe.
Jer got me into that shit. I mean, the truth is, when you're wanting to fish a spot that you just know you're not going to get a big boat in, and you just can't reach from shore, sometimes you'll put anything in that water to get where you need to go.
Well,
and as Jer watched me lose like a 51-52 in a canoe one day, and I mean, it's a bitch trying to set a hook in a canoe. I've paddled across Loch Wash with that guy in canoes. You name it, man. He knows. He's laughing his ass off right now.
I bet.
'Cause he knows. Yeah, he's a funny guy.
We got
Next question.
we got Brandon Pickens. Why is Chippewa and other water not have musky like St. Clair?
Oh gosh, St. Clair. I don't know if that's what you're looking for. Enjoy that, but if you really like fishing shipping channels and pumping rubber in the middle of open water and not really looking at anything all day, go ahead and hang out over there. I mean, they got their own thing over there. Mm-hmm. Because our water's special. It's not a factory, and that's what I like about it. It's a puzzle. You know, you're here to work on your full body of knowledge and learn a system. They're different because this streams, man. Wisconsin's got that old original green, straight up emerald.
Yeah.
And this river, the rivers are where they all came from, you know. But I don't know. They get.
It's too different. It's too different.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it is like the Lawrence. St. Lawrence. It is a river, but it's not the same as. Yeah. I know what kind of rivers you're fishing up north. It's not.
Yeah. Totally. It's totally just different stuff, and I think a whole different experience too. Where you get out on a guide trip over here, it's not about. I can literally disappear in places where we see nobody all day. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about over here that I love, and I'll never trade for anything. You could put me on that body of water. You could buy me a brand new Super 21-foot boat, and I'd still sit here in a $1,500 craft. I'm not interested. I love it here. I'm here for a reason because there's every year class here. I don't need a 50-incher to feel special here. I still get a 32, 34-inch fish. I'm slapping high fives, smelling my hand, wiping up my face. Because, man, that's just it. If you stop losing the thrill, worrying about the size of a fish, you're done. You're done. Take what you get and learn. Just keep learning. Mm-hmm. Why did you get that hit? How did you get that hit? Why did that fish hit? can you get more? You know, these are the questions that are always going through my mind. Why?
I love
when?
that.
How? More?
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, shoot.
So we got Mike Etzel. What's the best bait for the Lady Smith? I think he might mean flowage. What's the best bait for the Lady Smith flowage? He's asking for a friend.
I don't know. I've never fished that.
Never fished that, Mike. We don't know.
Don't know what he's talking about. No idea. I don't know. I've never heard of that place.
Ask Jeremiah. I think he'll.
Fucking guy.
There we go.
No. Yeah. Jeremiah, he'll plead the fifth, too. I don't know what anybody's talking about. Where? No. Yeah, that's so funny.
We got Ethan Kane. What is your YouTube channel? This is being streamed on. This is being streamed on my Facebook page. Shane, your YouTube page is at Sudden Impact?
Yeah, just look up Sudden Impact Guide Service and you'll find it. I think I'm the only one out there named that, pretty much. So you type it in, you'll find it.
We
Couple
got
oddball musky videos, you know.
Adam Swiklinski. Okay, I'll say again, Shane, you're invited to Presque Isle in mid-June to fish some Clearwater lakes. You have a place to stay. Bring Jeremiah. He loves that Clearwater.
Oh, God, Clearwater, gin clear. Yeah, hey, that stuff has its time and place, man. And I love getting anywhere, you know, in this state that I haven't been. And I haven't been hardly, like I'm saying, I'm a homebody, man. I don't get out much. And,
That's
you know,
fine,
I've
but
been
you got
invited...
great homebody waters up there, so that's
well,
fine.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we always get invited to, like, Vermilion and come stay with us. Oh, come up here, and it's like, but then we're out of here, you know. You feel like you're shortchanging yourself if you leave here, and then what did you miss out on here? And I don't know. Here's a struggle, and I've learned to love that struggle because when you can pull out really good-sized fish in this area, it just sticks out like a turd in a punch bowl. You know, it's way more impressive to do something big size here than it is in our neighboring states where these guys get a whole bunches of 50s all the time, you know. And Christ, here I just like the struggle. I like that balance, you know. It's not always getting 10 muskies a day. I mean, holy Christ. If I got 10 muskies a day, I'd be at it 2-3 years and I'd probably get sick of it.
Yeah,
I mean, eventually
what next?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? So, you know, I like the I don't know, just the difference in this area, how you can go through some droughts, man, and it's just changing your venue a lot can change your mindset. I mean, bounce around, man. Get to know as many places as you can. Having an arsenal of spots to attack is never bad for you.
No, it can't be.
No.
Oh, darn,
no.
I have too many places to fish today. Like, that's a great problem to have.
Oh, isn't it, though, you know, or where am I going today? Sometimes it can be a pain in the butt. Which spot do you want to go to? I mean, you get fish on a lot of them.
True.
Which spot do you go to tonight? What are you feeling? A lot of times you just got to run with your gut or go with the body that's been noticeably a little better all year, you know?
We got Sean Forney. What is Shane's favorite tube and blade combo?
Water Wolf Gator Tube, the sexy shad pattern.
There we go.
Without a doubt. It's been one of the money producers for years. I mean, just consummate producer. Can't go wrong with that bait. I mean, we've gotten fish on it. It's really out of this world early. You know, it's been one of our go-to baits opening weekend for the last probably 4 or 5 years. And then, I mean, that bite will last till, July. So you're going a good month, 6 weeks on a bite where you ain't got to worry about the bait.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, yeah, you can alternate that with some good bucktails. And, I mean, I'll switch it up constantly. Just when we find one bait that's working, it don't mean we ain't still trying other shit. Because the quicker you can find that next bait that it's transitioning to,
the longer the fun lasts.
The quicker you can start exploiting it then, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be on top of what them fish are looking for, what they're going after. I mean, the tubes, there's always going to be a good bite window for them. They fall good. I like the blades in the back just because they seem to slow the fall down.
Okay.
They're one of them baits so that them fish can really eat good, like the toads. Thing I noticed about toads last year is these fish are really buying into it, man. They're eating them hard. They're eating them deep. You need a good long pliers and a cutter because 2 of them last year, I had that back hook was way down where the gills come together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of them I had to reach up through the gill and pop hooks on. And I mean, just cut them and get them back quick, you know. I mean, but they eat them deep. Tubes and them toads. I've never seen fish eat them baits like the tubes and the toads. They can get the whole bait in there. I got a video on my YouTube station of Jeremiah trying to unhook one where the fish looks like it's still trying to eat it in the net.
Just chowing on it.
Fish. Yeah, just trying to take it deeper. It's what the hell, you know? But yeah, but it's a fun bite. When you get hits on them, that rubber, it's a fun hit because it goes from feeling almost like nothing to just T-bone weight, you know. It's a good hit. I love that feel.
We got Kyle Spindler. Shane, do you think muskies go up O'Neill Creek? Kyle, the kid you see at the river all the time.
Oh, I know who Kyle is. I know Kyle. Yeah, they go up everything, dude. They go up into some of the skinniest stuff you wouldn't even imagine. And he knows what we were talking about by line and kugels. And, yeah, I know even up there, you name it, they're going up. They're built to travel. They're built to move. It don't take much water to even get a big fish through. And I think the more that them fish swim up like that, the more they feel like they're going to be less pressured when they get up there. They don't mind the skinny water. They're probably never getting bugged in that super skinny shit that's way back in the woods, you know.
Mosquito-infested swamp water. Yeah.
Move. We found that out, too, this summer, fishing that, boy, in July and August. Them fish can be anywhere in that system. You name it. Farthest reaches, you know, like you watch Mike Keys on Keys Outdoors and them
some of that
episodes
skinny
there.
water, yeah.
Yeah. How far back was he? He looked like he was in the prairie lands of freaking Wisconsin there. And they got into a big one. That's the kind of shit that nobody, you got to think outside the box. And when people say that, they're not just thinking, oh, throw this size bucktail versus this.
Yeah, no,
they're
mean
thinking, they mean way out of the box, you know? And search places people ain't searching. There's a lot of shit out there you hear that people have been telling you for years, and some of it I think is so full of shit. You be the guy to disprove it. I mean, nothing's set in stone. These fish are constantly evolving and constantly changing.
Like, what's the worst that can happen? You don't see a fish? Like that's never happened to you before? Like,
I mean, that could be any given day. Yeah, that's the problem. As musky guys, we tend to draw a lot on our previous successes in history. You know, like that's just biblical. Oh, we got to do this. No, you never got to do anything. The only thing you got to do is figure out what's triggering them today or at this moment. Because no matter what, I've fished enough tournaments where you go out there and you put in your 12-hour day and you're pummeling every bait that you love and throw all the time and you just move shit. You get back to that meeting and there's 10 guys there going, we had 4. We had 3. Right there. You just paid that entry fee to learn why you got your ass kicked. Talk to that guy. What were they doing that was so much different than what you were doing? Where were they doing it? How much will they give you? Usually after a tournament, they're going to tell you everything because it's over.
They won. Yeah, they don't care.
That's the information you're paying for. When you lose a tournament, you paid to find out what it took to win it.
So, Shane, I got 3 more questions.
Let them rip.
How do you feel about fishing muskies in 70-plus degree water temp? And who do you revive the fish? And how do you revive a fish in hot water?
I'm pretty picky. If I start getting to 78, a lot of guys put that cutoff at 80. I think it's getting pretty touchy at 78. 78 degree water, I'm targeting pretty much deeper flow, or I'm not fishing if it gets much over. And usually recoveries for us have been minimal. I literally have never had a muskie die on me yet, but I focus on, I've always had my net. I've always kept them in the water until I pick it out for a picture. Every bit of unhooking, every bit of everything's done in that net.
Okay.
And I quick pull it out for a picture and let it go, and that's usually good enough. I've never had no issues.
Perfect. This is a cool question. I like this one from Ethan Kane. Do you have a preference for a rod setup on a river versus a lake?
Oh gosh, not really. I mean, I will admit I love 9-foot rods no matter where I'm at. 8, 6 to 9 foot. I like a real heavy action. Not really. Lakes, I'd be throwing the same stuff. I throw my same stuff in the lakes as I do the rivers. I mean, same stuff for me. But you know, I'm a musky guy on a budget. I ain't got 1,400 setups. You know, I got to run on my budget style, but I still try and keep good, nice St. Croix rods. You know, I'll run good rods, good reels, but I ain't gonna have 10 different setups. No, usually my setup that I feel comfortable with that year is the one I'm bringing everywhere.
Okay.
You know, I mean, of course, my gear ratios will dictate what baits I'm throwing, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Final question, Jack Kozinski. When do you know when to throw topwater on the river?
Oh boy, I usually tee it off as when does the mayfly hatch start? You know, in temperature. If I get water temps getting up above that 64 degrees, and I'm starting to see I like to read the surface. You know, if you're coming down river that night and you're seeing shit popping all over the surface all of a sudden, and it's you haven't been doing good on topwater lately, keep it going because it's only gonna be a matter of time.
Okay.
And bug hatches happen, and then a lot of stuff is really high in the column, not to mention spring itself puts a lot of fish high in the column because, the water temp's the warmest way up at the top, so a lot of your good hunters are going to be up there maximizing in that. But it's right around, last year it seemed to start up kind of later, 3/4 of the way through June, all of a sudden we started moving them on top water, and then it wasn't until the end of September where it stopped for us.
Perfect. Long stretch right there. So,
yeah.
Shane, the final question of the night.
Yeah.
What's your funniest boat launch story?
Funniest boat launch story? Oh, gosh, I got to think about this one. Pulled up one time to a boat launch. I ain't going to say where. I was fishing with this crazy pecker I used to fish with, and we get up to the boat launch, and I'm backing the boat in, and we get out there, and he hops out, we're both looking at the water, and he yells, "Holy shit, grab my rod! And I'm like, what? And he's like, look at that, there's like a 50-incher right there below the dock. And I'm like, what? Shut up. Like, you're full of shit. Whatever, and finally we realized, it was, honest to God, 50-inch, 30-pound fish sitting there under the dock. But it was dying, and that was kind of the sad thing. It wasn't really a funny story, but just to prove that, Jesus Christ, you can pull up to the dock, and there's a 50-incher laying there, But, I mean, I guess it wasn't the funniest, but it's kind of just ironic, You pull up to the dock, and there's a 50-inch fish sitting there. I could have used that opportunity to rip on so many guys with boats, putting them in like idiots, but just goes to show you, you never know where the fish are going to be. I mean,
you never know.
This one was probably in the tail end of its life, but chose that dock to be at that morning. Weird, I don't know, it's just odd, but weird to see it in all of its glory, just right there at the dock. It's like, weird. Okay, I guess we ain't gonna go very far. Yeah, hell, I've seen some weird stuff with launches, but hell, it's been a pleasure talking to you anyway.
Shane, thanks so much for coming on. This was a good one.
Hey, no
I had
problem,
fun with
man.
this one.
No problem.
So, guys,
Hey,
go check
thanks.
out Shane on Facebook and his guide service, Sudden Impact Guide Service, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Go to the website, go to his YouTube, go to his Facebook, book a trip. Remember, book it. When was your drought period?
Yeah.
Like in July. Go book it in July. He's not going to catch anything, so you'll catch all the fish.
Yeah, it's all for them. That's about it.
That's really it, man. I'm going to have you back on. Maybe a little bit later on. We're going to... Yeah.
No problem. I actually had fun. It was a good time.
Good. Yeah, I told you, no preparation. No preparation.
Yeah. I don't like that either. I like to shoot from the hip. A lot of stuff I do is just talking from the heart. So it's easy
that's what
to
I like.
talk. And, yeah, you can ramble on for hours and you're talking about the stuff that's real easy to talk about.
I don't want the show to be like, at this temperature, we do this at this place and throw this.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah. Well, I think the roughneck way to go is always the way to go. Beat your head against the wall until you learn not to beat your head against the wall,
There you go.
I'm saying, we learn a lot of shit from just trial and error and going against the grain and a lot of times. So, you learn. Keep learning. Don't ever stop learning. If you do that, you're done. If you think you got it all figured out,
you don't.
You might as well quit.
You just stop, because you don't. I think the next show it's going to... Oh, there goes the camera. I dropped the camera.
Okay. Oh, well. Bye-bye, camera.
I think
well, hell yeah, that was fun.
I don't even know what the hell's going on. I don't know. I might have closed the window. Might have turned off the camera. Who knows what's going on? I can't see my screen right now. Let's see what happened.
Yeah.
But I think next show maybe we'll get you and Jeremiah on. That'll be a fun one, I think.
Oh yeah, he's a good banner. We have a good time.
That'd be good.
Plus, we're just good buddies. We ain't got no egos. We don't think either one of us is really that cool or anything. We just like to fish. We get a lot of shit from a lot of people, but
that's all right.
Whatever. I guess that's kind of flattering in its own right. So
who cares?
Whatever. No. Yeah, that's what I think. Who fucking cares?
All right, Shane. We will keep in touch,
easy,
bud.
Colin.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. No problem, dude.
Have a good one, man.
Take her easy, bud. We'll talk to you later.
Bye. All right, guys. That was cool. My camera fell. It's all good. Next week, I don't know. We might have something cool. We'll check it out. But that was fun. That was exciting. Now I want to go fish frickin' rivers. I think next week. Don't quote me. We might be at Smokies. We might be live with someone talking about early season southeastern Wisconsin lakes. I think. Not sure. Stay tuned. It will be Tuesday next week. Again, it appears that I'm having Tuesdays off for a couple weeks. And then it might change. But I'll let you know. If you guys would like to see anyone on or be part of the show, send me a message, muskymagnetLures.com or Musky Magnet Lures Facebook page. Shoot the jaw and get you on. I don't know. We'll keep you posted. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And once again, everything's slime in prime time. Don't forget it. That's the saying. Adios. Bye-bye.